All right, let's get right into it. Today we're tackling a really tough topic, the diploma debt trap. We're going to unpack the real cost of a college degree and ask the question, is it still the golden ticket to success we've all been promised?
Wow. This quote just hits hard because it feels so real for so many people. Just picture it. You're 24, you did everything you were supposed to do, and now you're just sitting in your car, looking at this massive bill, and you realize that your expensive, hard-earned degree has landed you a job that pays the same as a fast food manager. So let's actually break down the numbers that create that sinking feeling.
First up, there's this number, $730 every single month. That's not your rent, it's not a car payment, it's the bill for your education, and it shows up like clockwork, guaranteed.
And where does that $730 payment even come from? Well, it's a tiny little piece of this much bigger number, nearly $100,000 in debt. That is a massive financial mountain to climb when you're just starting your life. And all this leads to what we're calling the parking lot reality. It's really all about that giant gaping chasm between the dream you were sold about college and the actual paycheck you get. Yeah, it really just boils down to this huge disconnect, doesn't it? The promise was, get a degree, get a successful, high-paying career. But the reality, for way too many graduates, is a job that, let's be honest, they probably could have gotten right out of high school.
And look, this isn't just about feelings or a few unfortunate stories. This is about the cold, hard math. We have to start thinking about a college degree as what it is, a financial investment. And like any investment, sometimes it just doesn't pay off.
And check this out, because this is where it gets really eye-opening. While most degrees do end up being a good investment, the data shows that a shocking 28%, that's more than 1 in 4, actually have a negative return. That means you are financially worse off for having gone to college. Now, of course, this changes a lot based on your major and your school, but that overall number is just wow.
And just so we're all on the same page, when we say return on investment or ROI, it's a really simple question. Did you make more money because of your degree than what you spent on your degree? And for over a quarter of graduates, the answer is a hard no.
So it makes you wonder, right? Why is college so ridiculously expensive in the first place? Where is all this tuition and loan money actually going? Well, that brings us to something called the university arms race.
Believe it or not, a huge chunk of it goes to stuff like this. Universities are competing with each other, not just on academics, but on who has the most luxurious campus. We're talking rock climbing walls, gourmet food, even literal lazy rivers. And who pays for all that? You do. It's all baked into your tuition.
But it's not just the resort-style campuses. The other big money pit is something called administrative bloat. This is just a fancy way of saying there's been a massive explosion in the number of university employees who don't actually teach.
And this chart says it all, really. Over the last 2 decades, the number of professors has grown, a little bit. But look at the growth in administrative staff. It's completely off the charts. More deans, more directors, all of those salaries get passed right on to the students.
With costs spiraling completely out of control, you gotta ask, is there a better way? Well, the argument we're exploring suggests there is a different path, one where you're actually earning money while your friends are borrowing it.
And it zeroes in on 2 major alternatives. First, the skilled trades. We're talking about electricians, plumbers, welders, jobs that society will always need. And second, high-value IT certifications, which can get you into a great tech career, often without that 4-year piece of paper.
Now, the financial difference in just those first 4 years is absolutely staggering. You can see the college path just dives deeper and deeper into the red. Meanwhile, the trade path is all green, you're making money from day one. By the end of year 4, the net worth gap between these two people is almost $300,000. One is starting life in a huge hole, and the other is already building wealth.
And that 4-year head start, that is the whole ballgame. By avoiding debt and starting to earn and invest early, these skilled professionals can end up decades ahead of their friends with degrees when it comes to building wealth. Okay, so let's fast forward to age 30. Really let this sink in. The college grad might be earning a slightly higher salary by now, sure, but after years of paying down that massive debt, their net worth might only be around $50,000. But the skilled trade pro? With zero debt and a decade of earning, saving, and investing, their net worth could easily be over $300,000. That's not just a gap on a spreadsheet. That is a life-changing amount of money.
When you look at the numbers like this, it kind of forces you to take a step back and just rethink the whole idea of the diploma, and maybe even how we define success itself.
So, what's the bottom line here? Let's recap. First, a degree isn't just an education, it's a financial product, and you have to analyze its ROI.
Second, university costs are out of control, partly because of the amenities arms race and administrative bloat. Third, paths like the skilled trades can often lead to wealth much, much faster. And finally, it's time we all start to question if college for all should really be the default advice we give everyone.
And this might be the most important shift in thinking. The goal isn't just to get a piece of paper to hang on the wall. The real goal for most of us is to build a life with financial freedom and real opportunity.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If the traditional path is no longer a guarantee, is it time for all of us to redefine what success really looks like?